Hello everybody, welcome back to Hot Ones, a show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Joining us today we have one of the best math teachers on campus. He teaches pre-calculus and algebra 2. Everybody welcome Mr. I. Hi Mr. I, what's your spice tolerance?
Well, my rule is if it doesn't burn through styrofoam, it's not too hot.
Mr. I, what's your background like? Where do you come from?
I lived in a lot of places. I was born in Texas, left young, lived in Europe. I did my junior high school, and college years in Virginia. Lived in Texas again. I started my teaching career out in New Mexico. And then went to my other adopted home state of Alaska. And taught there for a couple of years. I still make it a part-time home. I've also taught in Nevada, I've taught in Florida. And then when I came to the King's Academy, I finally found a long-term permanent home to teach. Worst job I ever had was a debt collector. I did, for a time, have to shake down people over the phone for money, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. Oh yeah, I could barely taste anything. I mean, for the spiciness. It's good flavor, but very mild.
We found out how you got into teaching, but why math?
When I was in high school, math was usually the easiest subject for me, so it's probably the easiest subject for me to teach. It's very easy for me to explain and help students understand what's taught in math, and it's a very enjoyable subject. I've also enjoyed a lot of other subjects, but I think I'm better at math teaching. When I first started teaching, I was at a very, very small Christian school up in Alaska, Eagle River Christian School. They had about 20 students in their high school, and I taught all the math and all the science classes, which was all right, and I did teach biology and chemistry, but to be able to teach biology and chemistry at a level like AP Bio or AP Chem, I could never do that. But math I can teach very well.
So, some of your students have been in the Mr. I auction, pretty fun event. What gave you the idea to do that?
Let's see. I had a few teachers do that when I was in school too. I took a French class in my junior year of high school where the teacher gave stuff like their in-class currency in order to trade it in for extra credits. So when I started teaching up in my first school, the entire school had a system like that, but they called it merit points, which was exactly like iBucks, except it was done by the whole school. And in my first year at King's, I didn't have time to get something set up like that, but once I got a little more established here, I started an iBucks system because there's only so much extra credit I'm allowed to give. Not everyone knows this, but there's a limit to how much extra credit teachers are allowed to give students here.
So one thing that people may not know about you is that you've traveled to almost every county in the United States. I think that's really interesting. What's the reason for that, and what's your favorite county that you've been in?
Well, I love to travel. Fortunately, it's been curtailed a bit, but one of my hobbies is to visit every county in the United States, because some people have a goal to visit all 50 states, which I accomplished long ago. That in and of itself is a fun hobby, but to visit every county, I mean, it's one thing to visit, say, Las Vegas, but to see every other part of Nevada is a lot of fun too. So it's something I've been working on for the last 20 years. It's a very long-term
Yeah, there's a lot of counties. At the football games, some of the students may have seen the TKA Knights mascot. And if they don't know, that is Mr. I, if I believe correctly. What's the inspiration for that?
Well, about 2 years ago, Mr. Mamone ordered a bunch of foam, plastic, semi-inflatable footballs and said, well, why don't you come to some of the games in a Joe Flacco jersey and throw some to the stands? And I said, well, do you have someone that wears a night costume? It might be more fun to do it that way. He didn't, so I went ahead and ordered a very cheap night costume. And I got to start a new tradition at King's, which is a lot of fun to do that. It's something I do to bring joy to a lot of people, especially like the elementary age kids that come to the game too. They really enjoy the mascot, and I have a much better costume this year, but we haven't had very many opportunities for me to wear it yet.
So
there's some big things coming to be looking forward to. I have a hunch this one's gonna be big.
Wow.
Since 101.4 million. The last one was $1 million, but I got a hunch this one's gonna be.
That's a lot too. Oh, wow. That is, yeah, impressive. There's a lot of negatives, but what's one positive that you've been focusing on through this time?
One thing that's positive, if there's anything, I've had time to really improve some of the things that I've done in the classroom. All of my assignments are now. Whoa, it's so tight.
Yeah.
How's my face look? All right. So I've been able to improve a lot of this stuff. All my assignments are now in those spiral books. So it's been able to really help my organization. As I said, organization and planning's probably improved. I will say I've had good students every year, but the students I have this year, the grades are up. I have a lot fewer students struggling in math. I think this group I have is probably the strongest group of students I've had in math in all the years I've been at King's, or even before that. Say, as far as learning goes, I don't know if it's connected to COVID. I would say part of it's because this was going to happen anyway, but my students this year, especially those who are watching this, they're doing a really good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. I.